Folks, it's 12:25 p.m. as the moment just changed on a 30th day, 8th month, 2023, and I was wanting to start with going right to the hurricane. But since I'm on this screen, I'm just going to give you guys your quick roll through for Brizzy and all that, and then I'm going to show you a really big beam that shot across the United States. Aimed the storm. I'm right towards parts of Florida. So I'm going to go through this real quick. So you have it. And you got a bit of action coming for your Coast Rose ads coming up over the next 24 hours or so. I have to put the words or so down there because you got moments where the chembams are going to do some big decidings, and quite an electrical show and quite a deluge is coming as they mix some really warm air out in the desert of Australia with some really cool air from Antarctica as I'm doing a breeze through. A bit of action coming for Auckland and all that right on schedule. And the action you're getting today over there is actually well aimed, New Zealand, as I'm going to show you real quick. I go over to your national radar, and I went to a 7:58 p.m. Wednesday the 30th. You saw these two big beams pop out, one over here at Westland. One's popped out here, actually a third one down here, all aimed in one direction, out toward the Tasman Sea. It's created quite a block flow, and right over the top of you. So I'm going to turn that off. Where you got the division lines of the beams are actually quite nucleated. When you look at the three stripes, and you look at the three stripes, you could see the clouds that these glitches. That's kind. We'll be showing you that in a minute. Over here, give me a second. That they've actually made clouds occur and caused flows to happen. That's folding this system right over the top of you. Here, put this in a little faster. You can watch the motions. As they ran into this beam line, they couldn't go any further. And so it forced all the momentum to back up into the clouds. It's like bunching people up that are in a line. And well, the colliding of the condensates together, or the smaller droplets of water that are in these lines here of this stuff, here I'll move it in, get bigger, those droplets, and they may fall as rain, and there will always be wind as these things occur. And you can see the zigzag lines even in the top of these here, indicative, very indicative of the chembams deployments. There's a number 3. Now, if you put this on a big television, you'll see it a lot clearer. Look at the triple right there, 1, 2, 3. Shape charged it up with a wedge that direction, controlling the percussion or shockwave of its explosions to hem things in certain directions. And these are going back in 10-minute jumps. A big S over here for your shit-stained skies, big square over here. All right, this is geoengineering spreading toxins over the top of you, falling out, and making your weather a little bit colder. The trees don't know what to do they? Some are flowering. I hear you have your whitefish time is coming over here, where you go out and you get your little fish things, and let's bless those fish. And will any of this EMF even interfere with their navigation of coming in and the big fish that come behind them? And there's a lot of people looking forward to tomorrow in the beautifulness that occurs. So let's bless that happens according to traditions, and hopefully things that happened forever in a culture continue to happen when it comes to Mother Nature showing up, right? Or should we call her Mother Nurture? Maybe people will get the point. As I'm watching all these chembams here, absolutely toxifying these beautiful mountains, these streams that are at their breaking point of heavy metal toxicities from 1080 and other pesticides. This isn't helping, and it saddens me to watch it. And I'm watching a big beam absolutely bear down upon the United States, a storm. And why do I say that? I go to Mimic TPW at the following time stamp. Well, I hope I can sit back a bit here. Hang on a minute. I need to be more comfortable. Put my knee up here a bit. Right. At this time stamp right here, a huge beam has shut down. Most likely near Kennedy area here where the spaceport is and all that. The beam has come down here and hit the backside of the storm and sweeps it this direction. Later I'm going to show you another beam that comes across the top of the United States. It sweeps from this direction to this direction with a larger spike hanging down low. It to cause the front line here to pin all this. And the EMF moves that are pinning this storm right down into the United States as I move it along. Back to being organized again. Shove the back side of the storm again. These are directed energy of microwaves. They just hit this one here. This can't now. We'll have difficult time moving over towards the east. It is directed energy from microwaves are used to aim and steer storms. And this has nowhere to go but up through here. And I'll show you why and how they've done that. Here's another beam deployment. I can do the zoom bit on this. You might see it a bit better. There's another deployment. It's come down into the storm here. The center is here. If they hit the center, the storm dies. This shoves. This creates flows. This splits this to come up into that. Heated outflows. Square centers. This will hit as a Category 4 storm. This will devastate the land, the rivers, the animals. The beam down this way, pin in that one. See if I can get at the controls a little bit better here. Forward. For all intents and purposes, this storm looks near destroyed. That is a swastika. Except for this end here. The flow is pinned. It butts up against that. It rolls like a Swiss roll right up behind itself. Right up through the Carolinas and out to sea. All the heated corridors have been set up. There's a bump line right here. The tornadoes will start spinning off when it gets to about here. Around between Macon and all that. It's going to spin tornadoes as the eye itself breaks down. The tornadic activity is going to be terrible. We have a beam sweeping down here underneath. And that's at the beginning when it came through the Yucatan. And I've got lots of data to show you about it coming through the Yucatan, which I'll now get to. This is one I have. I'm showing it coming in toward Florida. It came across the Yucatan. Beam, 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 beam. See where my finger is right there, the middle finger? See the backside manipulations going on here? That's a ship or a plane or a balloon that can go along with it. Look at, just pushing it along, making a vortex like you have a thing spinning sideways in the air. Big, huge beam manipulations going on here. If I go to this one here, is that the same one? This is the latest that I have from this morning. As they hit it as it's coming ashore. See these pulsations? And then the localized X-rays haven't even hit in yet. Steaming right on in. This one here is the latest one I've got. No, hang on, this one. As it came into Florida. They keep bumping this side, keep pushing it along, keep that side flat. The wind's going along with this storm, and the storm surge that's coming with it. And if it hits at high tide, which I'm not 100% sure, you can see the beam line that comes in as it goes into Florida, right up here along the Georgia line. Right through here, see it? And here's all of it with timestamps. This is weather manipulation, directed energy weapons used to steer a storm where Mother Nature would not want. Well, where the agenda barons have their eyeballs and licking their chops on your land. So I'm going to start closing some of these out. This is before it got into Yucatan. And when it was down here and it ran into the beams of Cuba. Guantanamo Bay became quite active. These little brush strokes down here. Look. Watch as I zoom in on it. I'm going to let this whole feed roll again. Bzzzt. Bzz, 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 bzz. Just keep prepping it, keep hitting it with that energy. Butts into the island. A second ring was made out here to start a new circulation. That thing never lost a freaking moment. And then right in on it. Then right in on it. With the whopper chopper. That's supposed to be the center, and all the action's out on the sides. Feeding the storm, getting the circulation, keeping the toilet flushing, the fingers stirring the pool. As it came over to the top of Cuba, it never missed a lick. Stayed square. Look at the outside when it comes through again. Look how square it is when it hits these waters up here. It doesn't turn round. The form is square. This is a mimic TPW feed. Keep it going. Keep it going. Weather manipulation going on now. Right before your eyes. And they beam the hell out of these people. And it's not good for ocean life. But it's what's going on. Is the feed running? Yes. Now, I'll go to this page here and give you some vital statistics and DEWicane Idalia, which means the bringer of sun, or something like that. I had the name all pulled up. I want to get the information up. So we're going to go down here and get the intensities and the pressures up here. All right, the pressure 944 should be fairly devoid of all clouds. Right, very, very high winds. It's saying it's going to track to the eastern side of the mountains here, and it's going to absolutely raise hell. And the EMF has decided a corridor. Remember that beam I showed you that came out over here? I said it's going to run into that. And when it backs into that, it's also going to spawn tornadoes and terrible, terrible weather in these areas, like where the military bases are, Jacksonville, Fort Bragg, and those areas there. The data I can get off this one here is this infrared image of its current one. So let's turn some of the crap off. Right, as it goes in toward Georgia here, it's not going to really let me zoom up any higher than this on this type feed. You got a lot of chem showing on this outside here. Mercury's wind over here with the things in it on a full blue moon. They're doing magic in our skies right over the United States. Beautiful Christian believing people here would not like this going on over the top of them, that's for sure. Not like that at all. And unfortunately, the resolution I'm getting on this is not as close as I would like it to be. But you can see it a little bit better here. Mercury's wine, man, with the snakes wrapped around it. The only thing missing is the medical wings. See, this formation is not very natural looking. It's very straight edge. It's being moved by radar beams. Second coming here. This is if they push against this here, it keeps the pinwheel spinning. So just keep tickling that edge with EMF. Pow, 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 or pow, pow. I can keep this spinning. And if it's a wall of air here, that's convection is moving in that direction, it'd be very easy to just work this right in, and that's what's going on. And chem bomb showing up here, easily seen. And I've got better views than this of this situation, so I'm going to go to some of them. I showed your beam there. I can close that. I'm not done with you yet, sat view. But I'm gonna pause you. All right, this is the come ashore. You know, I've got it. This is a lot of cloud action in the top. A lot of bombs can be going off. That's hard to determine when it's on the infrared return. What I'm looking at is the chem and the flows of the toroid here. It ran up against the wall of heated air here. It could go no further. It's trying to spin inland and come this direction, but there's a heated outflow wall here where it's preventing all that from going on. If I go into some of the localized sectors here, I can pick it up coming in. Hope you can see this all right. See all the bombs going off that are then channeled into these gaps here with the catalysts that keep a hurricane going, that can make it stronger, can make it more compact. Going off right here is these explosions here. The infrared itself, I think I get a second card already pulled up for you guys. And it's got the infrared already going on it. And while you're watching this steam in, I've got to sit back at 200 frames, so it really gives a good shot. And you start to notice that all the action is coming in through here. Pow, pow, pow. And a big radar sweep went across the top of the United States during the end of the feed. And that's a very big pulse. That could be HARP. Again, they're using their directed energy as a weapon to weaponize weather itself. It's not even 2025, and there was a document about owning the weather by 2025, and they're getting quite good at it. And their methods are obvious and easy to see. And they're going to kill today. They're going to kill trees, animals, people will die in this storm because the storm surge is going to be very bad. Picked up a bit of a steer and wobble as those pulses boom. Now that's going to sweep all this out towards it. It's going to make that more compact. It's going to help hold that offshore. And this is coming in and out. There's a lot of chemtrails that have been laid here at the end here over North Carolina as the food for the very ending of this. And so let's have a quick peek at what they just did to the old North State. And I'll put that on the infrared. See all the chemtrails there that were deployed? So we'll go with the infrared for a moment. We'll take it back about 48 frames. And so we're looking for the chem that helps feed these storms. See it all deployed here at the end? Chemtrail, chemtrail, chemtrail. Chemtrail, 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 chemtrail. Chemtrail, chemtrail. Chem bombs. Different type deployment, isn't it? Chem bomb, chem bomb, chem bomb, chem bomb. Brewing up a storm, folks. It takes a whole lot of hurricane seasoning. Do you not see it? This is a bitter melon. And then they chem bombed it all at once. Simultaneous chembomination. And if we go to this side here, you'll see very chemmy skies like X marking the spot right there. You got a bunch of stuff on the low deck down here. You got this streamer in that direction up here with our bombs. See them right here in the corners? See the streamers in toward the center of the storm? Feeding inside these bands. EMF outflow scalar square here with an explosion causing shock waves, causing predictable movements of air. This is a man-made storm. It's being fueled by electromagnetic frequency. Of that there is not a single doubt in my mind, because it's easy enough to see. When you go to like continental sectors here and you hit the US of A and you go to the dipole radar and or the mosaic, and you'll see it. You'll see the corridors that were left open, and I'll definitely 200 frame this. So you can go back in time and you can look at how when I turn these on and I leave one off, the easiest path for it to go through is where it's off. The easiest path for flow through here was there. The easiest path through here is here. It's very predictable how they used flows to create the winds for this storm. Bzz, bzz. Held it off, held it off, held it off. Let it go. Hem the chem. Ready? Tighten the eye, and let it go. Right through the corridor here. Here she comes. So they're going to cut the storm about here. They're going to do a spit. And as it comes around, it spits off its tendrils. They've already swelled the streams. Here comes the dream killer. This is how the EMF moves. They're not as hard on as those. It's just energizing the atmosphere, keeping the sonics going on. Getting the undulation. Pulsating moisture. Bzzzt. Look at this one frying out here in Cali. Fueling the Santa Ana winds, man. They got fires out here. Where are the corridors of wind coming in to fuel those? Right through here. And NextRad's doing it. This is an absolute steamer, folks. This is a deadly storm, and let me show you what they say it's gonna do. Whammo! Whammo! First year accumulations. This is going to be over the next 3 days as this storm comes through. These totals here are going to be done in inches for the folks over here. So you're looking at a half a foot of water along the interstate corridors of a main highway interchange here in Florence, South Carolina. A lot of people stop here to get fuel and stuff. A lot of food storage and things here. Marion. These places are going to get a lot of water. Will the dams over here, over Lake Marion and Multaire, be able to handle the amount of flow that's coming into them? The highway runs about this side here, right? And it's what they're hitting. They're hitting I-95, and it changes up and comes down here, right? Savannah, Georgia is another big, and Hardyville. Everybody knows Hardyville. We step in our cars here all the time. Major interchange. Will it get this tendril dropped on top of it? All this is coming in short time. Boy, are they capping it. They're getting all this in 48 hours. All this. And as it leaves the Carolinas, she's going to do a kiss out here off the coast. It's going to drop over a foot of rain in some of these spots by the time the fives are over. They're way holding down the totals here. The totals are too low. Okay, so you heard what I said. This is a deadly storm. It's been aimed by directed energy weapon known as NEXRAD radar. It's not just showing you the weather. It's beaming it up. And all these rivers are running to Tifton, so this town will flood. There's not a doubt in my mind. The amount of flooding that's going to happen around here. It's going to come ashore right here. Where's that town? I'm looking for its name. Give me a moment. Right about here. This side, I looked around, and some of these rivers up here are going to back up when the storm comes ashore. There's nowhere for the water to come down. A lot of you and I are very familiar with the flooding that occurs here. So let's see if we can get the names in. The center of the eye should be hitting this side here. And hemming up in this river here for this town here is Steinhatchee is in a lot of trouble. And it's almost too late to go anywhere. Don't be putting any emergency workers' lives at work. You know, listen to your local information. And do your decisions, because this is the time to batten down the hatches is over. The time to huddle up is now. You could get yourself right with your God. It's going to be a very memorable night as the tornadoes spit off this storm. Probably starting about here. When the eye comes ashore, she does her first turn and spit. She does a fling. Totals are too low. It'll really gonna do some hammering through here. Okay, so this will be your tornado corridor pretty much as it spits. You poor folks. This just breaks my heart to have warned about this storm so long ago and not hear proper warnings even come out by the mainstream media. You see, even that thing's already pumped moisture ashore that can gather as it's turning and coming up the coast. Not good at all, folks. And that's bucketing it down. Many freaking out there. They don't need to freak out. All they have to do is just know what a tornado sounds like. That's very important because a lot of this is going to happen at night. You know, we were looking at about, would that be 1 o'clock in the morning on Thursday? You know, tomorrow. You know, this is at nighttime. There's people camp out here for the summer out here. Let's say like Rocks Pine Campground or something out here. You're going to be having some problems over there. There's Somerville and all that. And it's very flat. And there's alligators out in them canal that could suddenly be outside your tent. And I'm very, very worried about my people. As it's a direct hit on the North Carolina coast, and there's nowhere for the water to run. It's very, very flat over here. There's swampland. So Wilmington. There's another interchange where stuff comes through the town here, where it's a real pain in the ass to get through here to get down to the beaches. Hey, so that must be wanting some smartening up. So Wilmington, get ready. You got a little bit of time to react. You might want to go visit your friends at Chapel Hill or something, because they ain't going to get it that bad. And well, that's not a bad place to visit. Have a drink from the old well for me. Surf City, here it comes. And another batch coming behind it, going across, is not helping the top of Florida panhandle at all. Yeah, the geoengineering of the totals around the world are very evident. This is just in 24 hours. You know, who's getting it? Vanuatu and that, but if you go to the fives, you start to see floodings going on. Certain areas of the world, like they're backing moisture up again towards the Isthmus of Panama. They trucked off over here, but yet there's more moisture coming over. There's a big batch out here with a lot of sand in it that I'm tracking now. And over here in Indochina and in Siam, they're capping it. Direct hit from one that did the super zigzag like a top, coming straight over here, and not to the Three Gorges Dam, because that's up here, to another dam system around these lakes from this rivers that are going to give these people problems. And it's not a little bit of rain for them. 9 inches of rain piping down on the fives, and it don't end. And they get over a foot. Yeah. And the devastation of the food supply where they grow rices. It's peach harvest time was going on the last week or so in Georgia itself. And this is a pinpoint on the peach harvest, the pitted fruit, right through here. They're going to catch a big hit. Still love to look at the peach and cotton fields off the highway you would see when you drove down to Florida. What else did I want to show? I don't want to show any of this, to be honest with you. This is a terrible thing to show. Look at the center of this storm. That should be devoid of clouds, it's so strong. They popped a Category 4 hurricane out of thin air. But all the conditions said it had to happen. And this is very man-made. It's got more chem in it than the pharmacy. In the S. Right in the sky right here. These isn't that natural. These are being done. They're being contrived and lied about to sell you a climate change lie, because there's trillions of dollars worth of taxes and control methods upon your life that want to be imposed by the agenda barons. You better look into Agenda 2030 sustainable development and see who gets the money and see who's putting in the money to get the money. And you'll find the same rascals that keep taking your politicians out to dinner. As I look over the coast of Daytona Beach, the race is on against all life on my planet. Chem bombs, shit stripes, EMF blasts. What more can the animals take out here before they all float up dead? They don't want us to be able to go to the ocean and have anything to eat. They want to give you cricket burgers full of fucking parasites. They are. Some parasites and stuff only take 2 cells of them to start budding inside your body. And the worms ate into his brain. Well, y'all don't need their education, that's for sure, when their education is flying over us and killing all life on our planet while telling you you don't give a shit. Y'all give a shit. I know this. And all I see is a camel looking like the letter R for the raunchy sky. These ain't natural. It's disgusting. It's wrong that we tamper with nature. Mother Nature nurtures. Mother Nature doesn't fly over. See, this is the chemtrails. Chemical trails in the sky causing clouds near the St. Louis Arch. That's a hell of a damn orgone generator, isn't it? Yeah, I went there. Chemtrail here over Akron, Ohio, making the air all acrid. Skies of pits over Pittsburgh. Indiana's jonesing for the sun. Frying New York right there. During the summertime when the kids are out playing, enjoying their last weekend off, we gotta poison the air over the top of them. It's the tiki. Off the coast of Atlantic City. Chem bombs over the Carolinas, Pamlico Sound, where all the shrimp and oysters are. It ain't natural. It's like a Greek symbol. That looks like the angel of death. That looks like geoengineering, right? These are chemtrails through various deployment methods. It's the chem bomb method, very high up. Blew a percussion ring out to actually blow the condensates out, and then it's renucleating new ones. It's a big square 3 over there. Not round, not puffy, not natural. Fueling the demise of too many people along my beautiful shores here. My stomping grounds, my memories, and it hurts as they destroy the fruit crops, the living of the people that are plant them. Straight lines and pluming off fireworks show off the coast of Jacksonville. A redneck fucker from Jacksonville. I ain't kidding, man. It's time to break stuff. Let's start with this system that's not broken. It's designed to fuck you. Put your hand over your ass, because you never know when they're coming. Chemtrails in your skies, falling out, gritting up your eyes, making you sneeze, taking away your energy, changing the electrical conductivity of our entire planet. Of our entire planet. You have fires, and they use their directed energy weapons to cause the winds to go in certain directions. And look at this here, this big old rectangle here. It's not natural. It's been contrived and made by man. It's weather manipulation. Fueling the winds for the fires in certain directions. Toxifying your air, instead of helping to make it clear. When you go up to Canada, you get chemtrails over the smoke. Look how far away the shadow of that one is. It's not a black chemtrail, it's a shadow of that one. It's a shadow of that one. But if you were over here, you might have thought they sprayed graphene on you or something, because all you saw was that black line. But way above here, spread out in front of you, it is these chemtrails that don't go away. It caused a shadow to form. With the sun angle like here, it might even put the shadow up in front of it. You'd be like, oh my God, why is that black line going in front of that plane? Chemtrails all over here are over the smoke. It ain't making it dissipate. Ain't like they're flying by with an air freshener. That look like a titty. Chemtrails. Chemtrails suck. They do. Now your skies were no better. Let's see if we can catch them. And this is your today. Oh, nothing to show. Oh, you're kidding. She ain't loading, folks. All I have is the 29th. I got you guys here. And this was up, accurate and fresh up to about 2 or so hours ago when I loaded all this. I'll take some of the names, F, and let's go over your images as. Look at that chem bomb deployment over here in the Tasman Sea. Boom! Boom, 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 plum, 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 plumbing you. Mr. Chemmy, can I see the moon tonight? I ain't kidding, man. They take a blue moon and chem it out on you. Blue moon in your ass if Uncle Sam is in your face. Uncle Scam. The chem bomb takes everything you bake and turns it non-organic undelicious. If you're looking for something nutritious, you'll be eating a cricket. Who plans to lock you up tomorrow? Take away your dreams. Hit you with some EMF until you want to scream. The government. Yes, the government plans. They plan for you to own nothing so that they're happy and they're giving you the wood. Boom! You get it yet? No more, no more. Should you ever be the system's whore? You were not birthed, you were born. You are alive. Oh, I am alive. Hey, fuck your birth name. That'd be like calling my mom Old Doc. We ain't having that. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, you better look into your birth certificate scam. So you owe me. Whatever you got made off of my name, I want it now. Look at that. Boom. Backwards in time. From nothing to the something. Right over here in the ocean. Right over the top of your whales and your beautiful animals. Right over the land. If nobody's done nothing wrong, but they decided to chemically attack you with undisclosed things. While you Z to sleep. Boom, 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 boom. Do you know where you are yet? Here's a reality break. A big rare over here. You get a wall of a bunch of gits, and then Gone with the Windy, Stanthorpe, big ass bomb, Bart Simpson looking head thing over here nearby St. George, or maybe that's St. George's Dragon. Maybe it's St. George's Dragon Queen. Who knows? Frog gene being sprayed. Who knows what the fuck is in our sky these days? All I know is this is not naturally occurring cloud formation or force in the weather, and they plan to soak you out a bit over here. And well, this is not cool. Not cool at all, is it? Hey, what else could we show you here? You want to see some localized NextRads now? Let's do this. Do it, do it, do it. And we'll go with the NextRads and mosaics. And we will go now and look at some of our local weather manipulations as it's coming ashore. This one has to be doing a pin line. Okay, so let's see what we got going on here. We'll pipe about, let's do 48 frames to see what she's doing to help shove this storm along. Come on along, let that beam the freaking land. Yeah, bzz, bzz, right there, you see a shed coming out. Bzz, see it? See the hit? Firing right at the storm. Right here. You got one firing down up here, so let's have another look at another one. And let's see what they're doing to manipulate the storm in advance. So they predict the flow. This one should be shoving it west. Okay, so that all the flow is pinned hard to the south, and the wind flow coming through will help do that. And you can see that right here. I don't think I'll need but 24 frames of that to make my point. As the storm curves in on the shockwave, boom, comes right on out and squares that right on off. And that'll fuel the winds like they did in Maui. They bring them in a corridor, but in Maui they left that door open here and opened the full wide there and drove the flames right to the sea. Yeah, that one had to be going on. This one was really guilty doing something earlier, and I just want to have a look at it. So I'm going to go 200 back on this. No, it will not be wanting that. It's loading now. 200 frames of absolute glory. And it was blasting like hell out of here earlier. Let's see if it's still going. No, they're not showing it. It did not go. How about that one? San Diego based reflectivity to other frames. It'll go now. Look at that. Bzzz. You can't hide your frying skies. It's the frying eye. Frying eyes. I'm watching you. Frying the skies. God, he ain't no hauling up. Nope. Yeah, they're guilty. They have weather manipulation. The Carolinas have to be fairly rough. So you need to make a corridor here. So let's see what Raleigh-Durham, and it's only making a slide where they make the wedge down. They have to leave a slide corridor to send it out the Outer Banks. And Virginia Beach has to put a hard line straight across the intersecting Raleigh-Durham line. And that's where I'm going now. Raleigh-Durham Airport. There's the frying line. And so they'll have to match it. Boom. Making sure this spreads out as the storm comes in. Here's all your times down here. Set it all up, man. Get that heated outflow. So when it hits this here, it has the tendency to start steering out. And the hard line's right up here. Yep, directed energy weapon right there, Raleigh-Durham Airport, North Carolina, being used to help aim a storm. Help back it up and fuel the demise of the old North State itself. What a shame, what a shame, what a shame. Let's see if what we got going on down here at the old spaceport. I don't want 200 frames for you, 96 will do. I can say hello to some people. Oh, we got a few watchers. Yeah, I did this kind of unannounced because I did close it on my screen again automatically. But so let's see what Daytona Beach is doing here at the spaceport. And this won't be what they have. This will just be what their next red is showing. Until the storm started going by, it took some pulses out. It's nothing major I was expecting from them. All the comings in is the whole country came on and left that corridor open last night from the next res to come sweep through this one spot. And to catch some internal manipulations is difficult, but we're going to attempt it now to record this data. Next red's right here. See that beam stayed on? It's fire in this direction here. It's another beam right here coming out in this direction here. Yeah. Frying it, man. Gotta aim it. And then there's going to be some bad tornadic activity in this storm. I really, really feel bad. When they could do stuff like this, bzz, 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 as it comes to shore, they're getting very good at their craft. All right, I hope that you guys have a wonderful night. If you're going to go to bed, sweet dreams. Don't let anybody take the dreams away when they swell the streams. Nobody can tell you you own nothing and will be happy. Whoever says that should go first. No more, no more. Will Mother Nature be treated like our oppressor's horse? Big love. Peace.